Hello dear students, myself Dr. Sachin Gurule, Assistant Professor from Department of Zoology, KTHM College, Nasik. In the previous video of Subject Animal Diversity 3rd of SYBSc, we are learning the chapter 4, that is Introduction to Superclass Pisces. And in the previous lecture, we have completed the topic types of scales in the fishes. And in this video, we are going to learn the types of fins present in a fishes. So let's see the types of fins in the fishes. Now, fishes are the true aquatic animals which are well adapted to live into the water bodies. That water bodies may be fresh water, may be marine water, or may be estuarine water. The presence of fin is most distinctive feature in case of fishes for the aquatic locomotion, that is the swimming. The fins are thin, broad folds of the integument internally supported by the fin rays. That fin rays may be form of the bony material or cartilaginous or the fibrous or the horny material. Means the fin rays, they are always there in the fins which are responsible for giving the support, and the material with which the fin rays are made of is differ from fish to fish. It may be in the form of bony material, it may be the cartilaginous, or maybe the fibrous or some horny material is there just for formation of fin rays which giving the support to the thin fins. The fin contains the fin rays which protrudes from the body. The peripheral skin covers and join them together either in webbed form as commonly seen in case of the bony fishes, or in the form of the flippers which can be seen in case of the sharks. So fins do not have the direct connection with that of the vertebral column, except there is a single fin which has a direct connection with that of the vertebral column or the spine, that is the caudal fin. But the other fins are usually supported by the body musculature. So this is a generality which is generally found into the fins among the fishes. Now obviously the principal function of all kinds of the fins is the swimming. But fins belonging to the different parts of the body of fish tend to serve the different rather specialized function. For example, moving in a forward direction, turning, keeping an upright position, or the stopping. So these are usually the other several functions which are contributed by the fins, but obviously the prime function is the swimming. But beside this, some of the fishes, they have used their fins for a different purposes. For example, in the flying fish, so here you can see the diagram of flying fish. The fins are used for the purpose of gliding. So here you can see the pectoral fins. That pectoral fins are useful for the gliding, which frequently comes out of the water surface, and hence these fish are referred as a flying fish. So flying fish uses their pectoral fin for the purpose of gliding. Similarly, the frogfish, these frogfish can use their fins for the purpose of crawling. So here in this diagram you can see, so this is example or the photograph of the frogfish, and the fins which are present into the frogfish are useful for the crawling on the bottom of their water bodies. Then similarly, in case of mosquito fish, for example, Gambosia, these fishes uses a modified fin just to transfer a spermatozoa, and hence it is acting as the gonopodium. So this can be the another use of the fins among the mosquito fishes. And another example, if we see in the anglerfish, the anglerfish uses the first spine of the dorsal fin like that of the fishing rod, and here you can see this fishing rod is used to lure the prey so that preys are get attracted and they generally attack on the prey which is get attracted towards that lure, which is one of the modification of their dorsal fin. So in this way, in addition to the swimming, the different kinds of the fishes can use the fins for a different purposes. Now, whatever fins present into the adult fishes, these fins are broadly categorized into the two. That is, the paired lateral fins, as they are occurs in a pair and they are generally taking a lateral position. Hence, they are referred as paired lateral fins, which includes the pectoral fin and the pelvic fin. While the second category is unpaired median fin. Unpaired because it is not occurs in a pair and it is usually located at the middle of body, hence is referred as a median fin. And this unpaired median fin includes the dorsal fin, ventral fin, anal fin or and the caudal fin. So here in this diagram you can see the adult fish which contains a different kinds of the fins. So for example, so this is a pectoral region. The pectoral region containing a fin from the either side, that is right and left, that is referred as the pectoral fin. Now similarly, the pelvic fin is also there in the which located into the pelvic region. So this is a pelvic girdle and it also contains a pair of fin which is known as the pelvic fin, which included into the category known as the paired lateral fins. Then unpaired fins, so here you can see the number of dorsal fin is there. So this is first dorsal, second dorsal, third dorsal. So these are the unpaired fins which are located at the middle region from the dorsal, hence referred as a dorsal fin. Now similar kind of the fins are if it is present at the ventral side, then it is also referred as a ventral fin, and the ventral fin which is located just immediate to the cloacal opening, it is also referred as the anal fin. So which is also the unpaired one. And the last one is so called as the caudal fin or the tail fin. It is also unpaired fin which is grouped or categorized as the unpaired median fin. So this is about the introduction for the fins in case of fishes. So let's see one by one. First of all, the paired lateral fins. Now there are two types of the paired fins present into the trunk region of the fishes. These includes the pair of pectoral fin and pair of pelvic fins that lies into the anterior lateral side of the pectoral region. So this is a anterior lateral side of the pectoral region containing a pectoral fin, while the posterior lateral side of the pelvic region is referred as is containing a fin which is referred as the pelvic fin. Now pelvic fin is also called as a thoracic fin. So here you can see the thoracic fin when they are placed below the pectoral fin. So here this is the position of the pectoral fin, and if the fin is present just below the pectoral fin, then such a pelvic fin are also referred as the thoracic pelvic fin, while the abdominal, it is also referred as the abdominal pelvic fin when it is situated just in front of the anus. So here is the anus and just in the frontal position, if the fins is there, that at that time it is referred as the abdominal pelvic fin. Now in some cases these paired lateral fins are also absent. So this is about the paired lateral fins. The next category is the unpaired fins. Now unpaired fins, they are usually named according to their location of on the body. Unpaired fin includes the first and second dorsal fin that lies along the mid dorsal line, and ventral anal fin lying behind the anus or the cloaca, and obviously the caudal fin which is located at the tail of the fin. So it of which the tail fin or so called as the caudal fins are very unique, and these are having a different kinds of the categories that we have to learn. So let's see first of all the caudal fin. Now caudal, this word is coming from the Latin origin, that is cauda, means tail, refers to the fin which is present at the tip of tail. Hence it is also referred as the caudal fin or also referred as the tail fin. As we have earlier mentioned, Only the caudal fin has a direct connection with that of the spine, so called as a vertebral column. Hence, it is also represent the posterior most part of the axis of vertebral column. No other fins has such a kind of the direct connection with that of the spine, so called as a vertebral column, except to that of the caudal fin. Now, caudal fin is located at the end of caudal peduncle and is used for the forward propulsion of the body during the swimming. So, whatever forward propulsion is there in case of the fishes, which is mainly contributed by the caudal fin or the tail fin. The caudal fin is highly developed in most of the fishes. In few exception, like that of the hippocampus, which is known as a seahorse, where the tail is somewhat prehensile, which is useful for holding the weeds which is present at the bottom of aquatic water bodies. And the tail fin is also not that developed in case of the fishes known as the eels. The caudal fins differ greatly in their shapes and size in the different group of fishes, which can be correlated with their habits. Thus, it has a great significance in the classification of the fishes also. Now, there are three main different types of the fishes of caudal fins are present into the fishes, and these types are the Diphecercal tail fin or the caudal fin, Heterocercal tail fin, and the Homocercal tail fin. So here in this diagram you can see the different kinds of the caudal fins which are recognized into the different fishes. So let's see one by one. First of all, the Diphecercal caudal fin or the tail fin. Now the Diphecercal is coming from again the Latin origin, that is diffus, means a double, and it is a most primitive type of the caudal or the tail fin, and it is also known as the protocercal type of the tail fin. Proto in the sense first or the primary. So these fins are present into the primitive fishes, or the Diphecercal is a characteristic of the primitive fishes. In this type, the vertebral column extends straight back to the tip of the tail, and hence the fin is divided into the two equal symmetrical lobes, and these equal symmetrical lobes are referred as the dorsal one is known as the epicaudal lobe, and the ventral one is known as the hypocaudal lobe. So what exactly the condition here? So here in this diagram, if you see in all diagrams, at the center you will get a vertebral column. That vertebral column is almost reaches up to the tip of tail, and which is responsible for dividing the caudal fin or the tail fin into the equal lobes. The dorsal lobe is referred as epicaudal, and the ventral lobe is referred as the hypocaudal lobe, so which can be evident in all these three diagrams. This kind of the tail fin occurs in the modern cyclostomes, primitive sharks, holocephali like the chimera, then living dipnoids, which includes the lungfishes, then living crossopterygian insect for crossopterygian fishes known as the latimeria, and many of the larval telos and the deep sea fishes. But in case of the chimera, here the fin is called as isocircle. So why isocircle? Because it is much elongated and a symmetrical one. So here you can see in case of the chimera, the tail fin is more elongated one, and it is referred as the isocircle, and it is a symmetrical one. While that of in case of the latimeria, the epicaudal lobe and this hypocaudal lobe are the more rounded one, and this rounded epicaudal and hypocaudal lobe joins to form a median lobe. So this is a short median lobe here you can see. So in this diagram that same is defined. So this is epicaudal lobe and this one is a hypocaudal lobe. This is vertebral column. These epicaudal and hypocaudal lobe, they are more rounded, and where they are exactly joined with one another, they are forming a short lobe-like structure known as the median lobe, which can be evident in case of the latimeria. So this kind of the tail fin is also called as the modified Diffuse-circle caudal fin. So this is a modified Diffuse-circle caudal fin which is present into the fishes like that is the latimeria. So this is about the first type of tail fin, that is the Diffuse-circle, or Diffuse-circle is also referred as the Protocercal kind of tail fin. The next one is the heterocercal kind of the tail fin. The heterocercal caudal fin is the intermediate type in which the vertebral column bends upwards and reaches up to the tip of more prominent dorsal epicaudal lobe. So here this is a epicaudal lobe and this one is a hypocaudal lobe, and here in this diagram you can see this is a vertebral column. That vertebral column is reaches into the dominant, that is the epicaudal lobe of the fin, and thus making that caudal fin strongly asymmetrical. Asymmetrical due to the not presence or no presence of the vertebral column into the hypocaudal lobe. Also the hypocaudal lobe is comparatively smaller in size than that of the epicaudal lobe. So this kind of the condition, if there in a caudal fin, then such a caudal fin are referred as the heterocercal kind of the caudal fin or the tail fin. And here you can see the tail fin of the shark. Here this is a epicaudal lobe and this one is a hypocaudal lobe. So if you see the spine is there, that vertebral column is reaches into the epicaudal lobe only, and if you easily can able to understand the shape and the size of the both epicaudal and hypocaudal lobe, giving a asymmetrical nature and hence referred as the heterocercal kind of tail fin. It is the characteristic of the bottom feeders which are provided with a ventral nose. So those fishes which feeds at the bottom of the water bodies and which are provided with a ventral mouth, these are generally provided with a heterocercal type of tail fin, and the fishes in which the swim bladder is absent, these fishes also contains the heterocercal type of the tail fin. Now during the swimming, the stroke of larger dorsal epicaudal lobe serves to direct the fish towards the bottom. So this is a specialty for that heterocercal. So the whatever stroke which is maintained by this epicaudal lobe, which is served to direct that fish at the bottoms, and this kind of tail fin is typical of the modern elasmo branches like a modern shark, and it is also present into the living holostean fishes like a accipenser and the polyodon. Then the opposite to the heterocercal condition, in which the vertebral column is terminated into the larger ventral lobe, it is known as the hypocircle or reverse heterocercal kind of the tail fin. It is a peculiarity of the flying fish and some primitive fishes. So this is a example of the flying fish. Here you can see there is a larger hypocaudal lobe than that of the epicaudal lobe. So here if the hypocaudal lobe is large and if the spine or vertebral column is reaches into the hypocaudal lobe instead of the epicaudal, such a condition is referred as the opposite heterocercal or the hypocircle kind of the tail fin. Larger ventral hypocaudal lobe enables the flying fish to attain a maximum speed at the time of gliding as it leaves the water, and this is a peculiarity of the flying fish. For example, the Clipserulus, which is having is such a kind of the hypocircle kind of the tail fin. So this is about the heterocercal tail fin, and the last type is known as the homocircle kind of the caudal fin. The homocircle caudal fin is the advanced and the most common kind of the caudal fin found into the fishes, and it is the characteristic of the majority of higher bony fishes known as the telost. Now externally these looks symmetrical, but internally it is asymmetrical one. So if you see the outer side of the fin, it looks symmetrical, but from the internal side, if you see the characteristic feature of the vertebral column, then you will find that these fins are also asymmetrical one. So in this type, origin of epicaudal lobe is suppressed. Only the ventral or the hypocaudal lobe is greatly developed into the single or two equal and symmetrical lobes. So vertebral column is short and its terminal part, which is known as the urostyle. So here you can see the urostyle, which is slightly upturned into the dorsal lobe. For example, in case of the salmon, this urostyle is slightly turned into the upward position. The homocircle caudal fin is a characteristic of fishes with the terminal mouth. So those fishes which has a terminal mouth, they contain such a kind of the fin, and its stroke forces the fish in a straightforward projection for capturing the food also. So this is a peculiarity of the fishes which has the terminal mouth. The homocircle type has the great variations in the different fishes. In the fishes like that of the cod and the tuna, here in the second diagram you can see the upturned urostyle of the vertebral column is either reduced or completely absent. So there is no urostyle in case of the tuna or in case of the cod. But in case of the chondrostean fishes like that of the polypterus and lepidosteus and amia, so here in this diagram C you can see the urostyle is bit elongated and it is upturned, also with or without upturned fleshy lobes. So this condition is called as abbreviated homocircle type of the caudal fin or the tail fin. And in case of the Phyraspies, the vertebral column and the fin itself becomes reduced and the vestigial forming the Diffuse-circle kind of the tail fin. So in this way, the homocircle kind of the tail fin present into the different fishes goes under the different kinds of the variation. So whatever lobes which are seen, that is lobes actually belongs to the hypocaudal lobe, as the epicaudal lobe is the suppressed in this kind of the fin, and the urostyle in some cases it is upturned into the dorsal lobe, while in some cases it is maybe absent. So this is about the homocircle kind of the tail fin and the different types of the tail fins which are present into the fishes. So with this we have completed this chapter, that is introduction to superclass Pisces. Thank you very much.